Hello YouTube, this is Eldon Brown. I did make it through the night. I made a video last night after being attacked by what I believe to be an energy-based weapon, and it's probably the video that's just preceding this one. But I did make it through the night. I did get some sleep, although I'm still feeling dizzy and my ears are ringing slightly. But it's October the 9th, Wednesday, 2013, and right now it's 1:43 in the afternoon. I'm getting started on my day, but I'm going to try to start chronicling some of the events that I'm remembering in my life that relate to gang stalking. And I started to do that with these little notes here that I've placed on my TV, which I no longer watch anymore, being it's a propaganda tool, and probably, since it's an older model, it's probably not equipped to spy on people, but suffice it to say, I won't be getting a new TV. I've got enough people watching me already. So one of the stories that I wanted to relate was there's little incidents that I remember in my past that, you know, now that I understand what gang stalking is, I've begun to dissect my memory, and I found many instances of anomalous behavior by people, weird events, you know, and I can now put names to them, like street theater, anchoring, brighting, all of these things which have happened to me, but I had no clue as to what they were. I'm 46 years old. At the time the majority of this stuff happened to me, YouTube didn't even exist. So, you know, YouTube I consider to be a blessing, even though it's being taken over by evil corporate forces. It still is a tool of truth, so I've been able to research a lot about gang stalking and hence have a better idea of what's been happening to me these past 20 years. Well, one of the interesting things, I just came across a video by L.R. Marzulli, and he breaks all this stuff down on a biblical perspective, I guess related to prophecy, but I just watched him on YouTube, part of a playlist. But one of the things that, one of the videos that was in there was something that was done by, let's see, this woman, the Killing Code Book, Dr. Darlene Russell. And she has a thing in there on epigenetics, which I'm finding out is basically, I think, genetic engineering. I haven't read the whole article on Wikipedia, but it just brought to mind a memory. When I was in college in 1996, community college at Solano Community College in Sassoon, California, I had a biology teacher that it was the first day of class. And at that time, I used to carry a gun. I used to carry a .40 caliber Baretta, because I felt threatened, much as I carry knives today, and I didn't really know why, you know, I was doing this, but I did feel threatened, and now I know it's because I've been gang stalked all this time, you know, so quite naturally a person feels threatened, they're going to try to protect themselves, and I carried a .40 caliber Baretta, 92 FS, with hollow point black talon bullets, but anyway, I carried that with me almost everywhere I went, and at that time in Vallejo it was kind of a wild town, so you know I did have to rely upon that Baretta once to protect me from a gang of teens, as well as a couple of marauding pit bulls. But anyway, this first day at school I had my Baretta in my backpack, and I could kind of tell the atmosphere the first day of class. You know, it's really exuberant, the students are excited, everybody's chit-chatty, but the teacher was a woman, and I've forgotten her name at this point, but she was talking about herself, and she started to explain that she loved, her passion in biology was genetics. So, you know, people started asking her questions like, are there hybrid beings that have been created, you know, like mixing rats and monkeys or pigs and, you know, birds or what have you. And she had said before that she worked for the Department of Defense and that she had security clearance and she couldn't talk about a lot of stuff. But that didn't preclude us from asking her questions. So what she did is she fielded these questions without saying anything. But you could tell from her body language, if she was silent and just looked at you, that answer was affirmative to your question. If she threw your question off and just started talking about something else, then you knew you were on the wrong track. And until she got quiet again and just started looking at people that were asking questions who got closer and closer, you know, to being correct, that's when she would get quiet. So people started asking her, you know, have you guys made creatures that don't exist in nature in the laboratories before? And she gave us the most intense stare. So it kind of put the whole class at a hush, because here we were getting confirmation that the government was doing these wild genetic experiments right there in front of us. There's the woman that's doing it. So then she starts talking about other things, and she starts talking about her friends. And she says that a lot of her friends were in covert operations, you know, and you know, it almost sounded like they performed some sort of law enforcement capacity, and she would express concern that she didn't want her friends getting shot at, and she would admonish her friends to please duck when they did get shot at. And then she just stopped dead silent. I'm all the way in the back of the classroom, right? My backpack is sitting on top of this slate lab table, you know, workbench. And I've forgotten all about the gun, you know, in my backpack, because, you know, I really don't think about it. Just the same as I don't about my knives. It's a last resort to save my life. Any weapon that I'm carrying, I'll try to run before I use it. So I'm listening to her conversation. I'm not thinking about the gun in my backpack. And all of a sudden, after she gets quiet, and the class is like, what's going on? And she just blurts out, you know, I was kind of wondering, what would be the percentage of college students on their first day in class that had a gun in their backpack? And I started to look around like, you know, what? And the rest of the class was like, where did that come from? But I could kind of tell it was directed at me, you know. And I was really kind of the only halfway minority kind of thuggish character. I know that sounds racist, but it was true. Most of them were white kids and Asian kids in this biology class, and I was, you know, the only one that may have even come close to having something like that. The rest of these people were nerds. So she said that, and then she went on like, you know, she had before. But the successive days, and as I dealt with her in the future, she always treated me differently, like very somber. Like, you know, every time she talked to me, she'd be having a good time with students, and I'd come up and ask her a question, and she would just get really somber and look at me in kind of a knowing way all the rest of the semester I was in that class. So I didn't understand it, but I knew there was something weird about that, and now I do. The woman had a security clearance, and I was being watched all the time, and she knew I had a gun in my backpack. That's kind of what gang stalking is like. 24/7, 7 days a week, for years, and in my case, decades. So I just thought I would give that to you guys. I hope I wasn't too, you know, wordy in the way that I explained it, but it's kind of the way my mind works, and that's the payoff. That was in 1996, and it's 2013 now. I was 26 or 27 years old then. I'm 46 now, and it's been going on all that time. So if this is happening to you, it's pretty much lifelong. Get ready for a protracted battle, but always remember, keep God in the forefront. Jesus Christ is Lord. He loves you. And if you are a gang stalker, you can get out. You may have to become a target yourself, but isn't that better than going to hell? Eldon Brown signing off until my next video. God bless.